Okay guys, welcome back. Welcome to part 2. This is a Tech Tuesday two-parter. Tech Tuesday two-parter. TTTP. Tech Tuesday two-parter. And we've been talking about how I get my courses and my planned walks and routes uploaded into my Garmin Fenix Watch and how I use them on the track. So today we're going to look at the one that I mainly use. Last week we looked at how you create a route in Garmin Connect, the Garmin proprietary software, and how you load that into your watch. But like I said at the end of last week's video, there is an app I use, or web app that I use, which I have found to be really good. And it doesn't matter what type of watch you have with this one, which is the beauty of it. You create your file in here and you export it to whatever software or watch or whatever you use. And so I create routes in this gpx.studio web app, and I then download them and upload them to both my watch and to my Garmin InReach, so I can use it on the Garmin EarthMate app. Okay, so we're going to jump straight in. We are going to check out the Western Arthur Range, where I headed to last month. Got that on the brain at the moment, but we're going to have a look at the Western Arthur Range. So I could either upload a route that I have, or I can create a new one. So we might just throw this one in the trash. So the website for this is just gpx.studio. They do accept donations. If you're using it all the time, that's not a bad idea because it's pretty awesome software. So if I go right out, here's Tasmania. I can go anywhere in the world with this. I've got my map here. And so say I'm going to the Western Arthurs like I did last month. I can see here, if I zoom in, it's a lot more detailed. The contours are there. I can see the peaks. So it is a better map than the Garmin one. If I come right in, I can see the rough track that I've got here for the Western Arthurs track. I can do this exact same principle here that I did for the Garmin one, except I've got more detail. And so when you're planning off-route stuff, this is very helpful. So I have been using this now. So what I want to do is I want to start creating a new one. So you go up here to the top of the screen, you click New GPX, and you've got the same options. You can routing follow roads. If I untick that box, then I've just got that freehand option again. So, but I'm going to follow the routes because they've got the rough track in there. So we're going to start at the Huon Campground, which is where you start the Western Arthurs from. And it's this exact same deal. Now I know there's no other tracks going off here, so I can click all the way to Junction Creek and it will draw that route in. So it has drawn that in, following the track that is pre-populated into there. And again, this goes a little bit, this isn't so much on popularity or heat maps, it's what has come from OpenStreetMap, I think, into this program that they've sourced it from. I'm then going to go along the Port Davey track for a bit longer, the Mackay's track to start with, but it is the Port Davey track. We're going to go up there. We're just going to do the first day up to Lake Cygnus, and then I'm going to click there and look at that. I have created day 1. So then I just click the tick there and I can click down here, double click on there, and I'm going to call that day 1 Western Arthurs. Okay, so that is that day's route, and down the bottom here I have got the elevation again. Nice flat day for the start there. Then you hit that climb and that is tough. And you can see over here we've got the elevation, so 983 meters of ascent and 380 meters of descent at 16.3 kilometers, and there we go. If I wanted to create another one, I could click on New GPX again and it will put it in a different color. We'll quickly do that. So then I can sort of do a couple, and on this day we'd start at Lake Cygnus and we're going to go along to here, and so you can see there it's in a blue line, so I can differentiate between the days. And on the way I'd like to do Mount Hayes, which is not indicated as a route or a track on here, but I think I know what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is stop the routing following the roads for now. Calls these tracks roads, but it's a track. So here you can see I'm doing freehand, and I'm going to come up the back to Mount Hayes. This isn't the exact route, but just for a bit of fun. And then we're going to go back down the same way. I just do this. Look, all right, easy ways to do it, but look at back there, back on the track. And then I'm going to tick that routing follow roads again. I've created an off-track portion of my walk, and we're heading off to Lake Oberon campsite, and one click and we're there. And then we're going to tick save for that. We're going to call that day 2 Western Arthurs, and there you go. It's as easy as that. And now I want to save them on my computer. How do I get these into my watch? We've created day 2. We've got these 2 little walks down there now. So we've got day 1 Western Arthurs, day 2. Now what I can do now is export. So what this will do, I click on here, I can export all the settings. I don't worry about all that. There is another feature I'll show you in a sec as well. But what I do, I just click download, and that downloads them as 2 separate files. Each walk is downloaded as a separate file. So then when I go to my downloads folder, I have got the 2 files in here, and they are now ready to use with whatever software I choose. So I can upload them to Garmin Connect. I can put them into a Sunto thing if that's my thing. If I'm my mate Bowie and I use a Sunto watch and I don't really know what I'm doing with it, then I can upload it into there somehow. I don't know how you'd do that with a Sunto. They buggered everything up there. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, you've got them here, and then I can upload them into my software. We're going to go now back to Garmin Connect. And so I'm now in connect.garmin.com. So if you didn't see that last week, check that video out first. Link is below. And here I'm back in the courses part of the app. Down the left-hand side under training and planning, I'm in courses, and I've just created those courses and I want to bring them into the app so I can upload them to my watch. So if I click on import, just down here, you can either create a course, which is what we did the last video, or you can import. So I'm going to import, and then I'm just going to grab one of those from down below here, and I'm going to drop that into there, and you can only do one at a time. So I'll put in day 2 just for the fun of it. Get started is what I click then. Click the use open street map. I can select if it's a hike or a run or whatever. I'm going to hike it. I'm not running the Western Arthurs, not like some of those crazy guys who run it. And then I bring it in, and there it is. That is the route that I've just created over here in gpx.studio. That same route is now there with my little side trip up Mount Hayes, is now loaded in here. You can just tell the difference. Look at the map that Garmin Connect gives me, and look at the map that I get from GPX Studio. So when you're doing really fine detail, this is a much, much better app to use, I find, because I've got all these contours. I can see where I'm going. It's got that pre-planned route in there. It's got the tracks in there like most of the others. So that is in there now. I can edit that. I can call it something else if I want there. I'm happy with that. I've got all my elevation profiles. Everything's come across. So then I'll just save that new course. Now that is there. That is saved into all my courses. So when I've got click on courses, let's go down here and it will be called Western Arthurs. Now, sometimes you need to have it on the screen for the search area. So there it is. Day 2 Western Arthurs is there, and that is good to go. And you know what? I might go to the Western Arthurs next week and do that. Not, but so I can send that to my device now. And if I send that, plug in my Garmin Fenix to my computer on my nice little puck, which I showed you last week as well, but that's my little charging device and connection device. It's just a little device I saw in DC Rainmaker, and I bought it off Amazon. Link is below. Great. I bought about a few dollars, and I bought several of them just so, because I'm always losing my cords. Then we're going to send that to the device. Garmin Express will open, and that will sync that across to my device. Bang, sync complete. It's now in the watch. If I look through there, if I go to start a run, I'll click on to do a run or a hike, whatever I want to do, and then I will go to run. Then I will click on the middle button, hold that in, go down past run settings, power mode, training, navigation, go to navigation, go down to courses, and then if I go down there, it will be in my watch on day 2 Western Arthurs. I can load that up. I can look at it on the map, and I can see it there in the watch. Beautiful. It's all there. And I'll just click back with the bottom right. So I can do the course, or I could do it in reverse if I wanted as well. I can look at the elevation plot. I can do all that's all in there, and it's fantastic. So that is all there. I'm going to do the course, and it doesn't know, I'm nowhere near the course at the moment, so it's not on the watch, but that's the basics of how you do it and how you bring it in from the gpx.studio app to your watch. Okay, the other thing we can do, I've uploaded that, that's great. What I do like to do before I go as well is create one entire route of the whole walk that I'm doing. So I've just got one file where I can go to it and go, right, I can just do that, and as opposed to looking for separate ones for each day. I do upload many different routes. I love creating these for each walk, but I also create an overall overarching file. So what we're going to quickly do here, we're going to create another GPX. We're going to go new GPX like we did before. We're going to just follow the routes, and what I'm going to do is create day 3. I'm going to start at Lake Oberon. I'm going to go to High Moor today over the Mount Pegasus and Mount Capricorn. Crazy day, awesome day. And we're going to go over to High Moor, one click. There's no side trips according to this route that is in this software. There are, of course, side trips you can do. We're not going to bother mapping them manually today. So that is that one. I like that. That's good. I tick the box. I've called that day 3. And what I'm going to do is we're going to fast forward now, and I'm going to make a few other routes for the rest of the days. And then we're going to come back when I finish them and link them up into one big route. So let's do that. Be right back. Okay, so what I've done is now created my next couple of days walks. I've made myself a 5-day itinerary of the Western Arthurs here. Most people wouldn't do it that quick, but that's what I'm doing today, just for a bit of fun. So I've created a 5-day itinerary, and I've now got on the screen here, you can see the different colors. Red is combined into the orange there, which is the last day because they go out the same way. But I've got each of my days indicated by different colors, and I've named them all by their different names here according to the colors. As you go along and hold on them, you can see it sort of highlights as well the route that that you have created. Now I've got all them, that's lovely. I can download all them as separate files, which I'll just do now. I'll export all them, download, they're all downloaded. And now what I can do, I can click over here on day one. Over here you've got these little menu buttons, and you just, when you're coming into this, just play around with them. And what I can do here is that plus symbol in the circle. I can click on that. That is merge with another trace. Now if I click that, so you do that, merge as track points, leave that on the screen, click on the track you want to merge it with. So I'm going to merge it with day 2. Now you can see that's all red. So that is merged into one course, and there's now only 4 remaining here. I'm going to do that the rest of the way. I can exit out of that for the short term. So it's important when you're doing this. I'm going to go to that one there. You can see the green dot that indicates the start, and the checkered flag dot indicates the end of that course. If I were to reverse them by clicking the arrows up here on the left, so it now starts and finishes, that is going to really battle to merge the two together, because the red course is ending there, as is the blue course. And what it's going to do is going to draw some crazy line across, and that's just not what you want. It's not going to join them up nice and neat like it has done here. So you need to ensure that when you're merging these traces, if they're opposite directions like this, you need to get them going the same direction. So to do that, I click reverse. That now starts there and finishes over there. This red one starts up there and finishes down here where the other one starts. So I'm now going to merge them like I did with the others. We click merge, leave that on the screen. Then I just click the trace that I want to merge the red one with. I'm going to merge the blue one into the red one. That has merged them all into one route. And as you can see, it is gradually becoming one big route. And then we go into the last one. We're going to click that and merge all that into one, and bang, there we go. I have got one big route all joined up together as one. And you can see down here, I've got the elevation profile of that awesome walk, the Western Arthur Range with the plains on either side. A lot of walking there on the plains in the mud. So that is it. I can then export this one as well, download, and I can then quickly come over to Garmin and go to courses, and I can import, and I'm going to drag. Now I didn't rename that. What I could have done is rename this full loop Western Arthurs. Then I'm going to export that one again. So then I'm going to bring it over here, drag it into there in Garmin Connect, started, use OpenStreetMap, call that a hike, continue, and there it is. It's in Garmin Connect now. I can send it to my device. I first need to save it as a new course, and there you go. I can send it to the device. The full route's in there. I can download it from here even if I wanted to as well, but it is there. It is done, and that is how you merge those traces. Now, if I wanted to get rid of this back in gpx.studio, I'll just get rid of that. What if I wanted to bring a course in? It's simply one that I've pre-created before. So I want to put day 2 in and see what that looks like again. I will just drag the file from the folder I've saved it in, drag it straight onto the screen, onto the map. Bang, day 2 is there, and then I can have a play around with that. I can click on edit. You can go in and change these track points if you wanted to. I could split the route, which I do quite often if I'm just doing a portion of a previous one that I've done. So I could split that into 2. And now I've created 2 separate files of that day. So it's very easy to split that in half, play around with it. It's a great piece of software. I'm not going to go into super detail. I just wanted to show you how to create a route in this, and that's what we've done. We've uploaded it into Garmin Connect, and we've joined up a couple of different courses into one route. So you can upload a file you've created anywhere in this. If I've gone and done a run and I didn't follow a route, I can download the GPX file from Garmin Connect, and then I can upload it into here. Actually, what we're going to do there is, why don't we do that very quickly? Bit of a bonus Tech Time Tuesday bit here. I can go in and look at my activities in Garmin Connect, and here's one of the days I did on my Western Arthurs. So if I go into there, wait for that to load, and I can see here that is the walk I did from Promontory Lake and the western end of the Western Arthurs to Pass Creek. That was actually a big day. That was 19.5 kilometers. And over here, I have got, it's not white on the screen. There we go. I've got a little cog there. What I can do is export the GPX. I can send it to my device. This is not one I have created. This is one I have created when I have been walking and I've been recording my activity. I can export that GPX. That will download. Now, this could be, one of my friends could have done a walk that I'm doing, and I've said, mate, can you just share me the file, please? And I want to go and do the same walk, and I want to play around with that file a bit. So I've downloaded that file of that day's walking that I did, and I'm going to increase the length of this walk I'm doing now. I want to go and do a bit more of the Western Arthurs instead of doing that little loop I did earlier. I'm going to now upload that activity onto the map, and yeah, I've got it there on the map now as that green dot. I can rename it down here. Green line, sorry, not green dot. Day 6 or whatever I wanted to call it. Edit, and then I can actually click on the color, pinky color. Okay, so I can see it better. So yeah, that is one that I actually haven't done. That's an activity I had, and then I've brought into this maps, and then I could play around with it. If I want, I could connect it to another one that I have planned to do. I could go in and edit it. So I can go in and do the pencil button edit. And now you can see here, there's a track continuing on from there, which is where I went. And I can start to extend on that actual walk I did by adding more more stuff. So then I've got my route to the Needles where I went on that trip. So I could manually add in a bit of a route to that activity. So that is GPX Studio. So you can see that I've created that there. I've exported it. It's a great little app. You can donate. So you can go and donate a bit of money. If you're using this all the time, I strongly suggest you do that because I love getting stuff for free, but you need it to continue. I don't want this to shut down on me because it's the best app that I have found for doing this sort of thing. So you can donate to it. Yeah, that's it. That's a quick rundown of GPX Studio and how it works. And the website will be below. Go in, have a bit of fun. Just play around. Like around your neighborhood, you can create a quick route or a quick course and upload it into your watch or your InReach or your watch or your GPS device or an app on your phone. You can do it on just about anything using this software, which is free, which is awesome. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that 2-part Tech Tuesday. Probably even go to a 3rd part. I reckon we might do how to bring it into Garmin EarthMate, which is the InReach app, and we'll explore that as well. But that is a rundown on the way I get my courses and my walks into my navigation devices, into my Garmin Fenix 7 or Garmin Fenix 6. That is how I get them in there, and that is how I navigate when I'm out on the track. If you've got any questions, leave them below. Leave them in the comments below. If you've got any apps that you use that you think are good for this sort of thing, then please leave them below as well. Please like, please subscribe. We're getting a great subscription rate. Is that what it is? Subscribing. We're getting people subscribing all the time. It's great. Getting some good comments, and there's a lot of love out there. So enjoy. I hope you like the video. If you've got any tips or if you think I need to brush up on something, let me know. If you would like some more tips on how to use this app, leave it below and I can make another video and explore some of the other ways that we can use it. But in the meantime, get out there, enjoy your hiking, have a great walk, have a great day, and I will see you on the next video and definitely on the next Tech Tuesday. They're coming along, Tech Tuesdays, getting some consistency. This is good. All right, see you next time. Bye-bye.